Hello everybody, Malakith here, and this is the Sunday line battle. Now today we'll be doing something slightly different. I am in Spectator with Chadman, and we're going to be doing one of our dual commentary casts because we haven't been doing it for a very long time, and we want to give that another try. Also, it's going to give me a chance to actually get a good look at some of our cadets. Having 50 or 60 of them sharp at training, it's very difficult to assess which ones are, up to the standard of being promoted. So I'm taking a step back for a week to have a look at them, see what they get up to, and make special note of the ones that go on massive team kill sprees for further beating. Training, that's the one. Further training. But anyway, let's get this underway, shall we?
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, it is that time again. Of course, it is the Sunday line battle, this time hosted by the 77Y. And we've got a bit of a change-up for the books, because it seems their general has taken a day's retirement. I actually have Malakith here with me. Good evening, Mal.
Hello. Yeah, I've decided I'm too lazy and I'm going to sit on my arse and spectate cadets. So when they could say that they're doing amazing in line battles, they have no argument when I prove otherwise.
The big brother is watching you type Napoleonic Wars version, so sounds good to me. Okay, so as you can see, this is the map, pretty hilly as you would expect. So you've got the 77Y obviously making their way. Oh, crikey, that's a good start. Uh-oh. Indeed. Yes,
and
okay.
We're off. Where is he?
He's gone. Gamer's already got him.
Good.
So Gamer quick on the button there. Unfortunately, took a couple of people out, but these things happen. So we're going to restart.
Who did he get? Let's see. Oh, he came away with an invite and a cadet. Best troll ever.
Oh dear, fantastic stuff. So we're off with a reset, and so anyway. So pretty much what these guys are going to do, you're going to see them set up their artillery. Now, obviously, they've got a good selection of hills from which to poke their artillery up onto. You see, you've got quite a few hills over at the back. Now, obviously, speaking from a commander's point of view, where would you like to see artillery being placed? What's the optimal place for artillery in this kind of game, Mal? You
want it on a hill, but you don't want it too high, because if it gets too high, the angle gets too steep, and then they can get sort of underneath you. And also, you want something that's not necessarily the top of a very steep hill, because then they can quite happily run circles around it until they outrun the gun, basically. They'll just get in and melee it quite happily. So you want something that's sort of atop of a hill, but still relatively flat in sort of large expanse. So who's this? Stabby's going at the moment is quite a good one, because it's not too steep for him not to be able to aim at things coming up towards him, and he's still got good lines of fire all around him.
Is this the one by the large rock?
It's where they are currently dragging what looks like their only artillery piece. I'm not sure what the 95th have done there.
Yeah. So I mean, I'm looking at the 77Y down here at the moment, and they're moving into an area nearby a rock. It looks to be a good position. Doesn't appear to be too high. Gives you good visibility across the battlefield. Is not the highest of all of the hills, but it gives. Oh God, guess who's on top of the hill? It's Thomas. Thomas is up on his outcropping. He's on his perch already. So I'm just waiting for somebody to shoot Thomas from long distance, and that will be irony in itself. But
I think he'll get his Meerkat award come Tuesday.
I think so. Yes, it's definite Meerkat award for Thomas there. So he's up there, obviously got great visibility of the battlefield, and the 77Y getting set up and getting ready to deploy their cannons. Now, I can see the opposing enemy cannons, which obviously I'd say about 500 meters away, maybe a little bit more than that, actual game size. But I can see a line making their way towards the 77Y artillery already, and cannonballs going flying past. One thing I forgot to mention is actually the teams that are taking part tonight. So on the Russian side, we have the 77Y in its entirety, and in for the Prussians, we have the 5th Brigade, the 47th Lancasters, the 95th Rifles, the 5th Brigade 18th RH, the FK RKT. Oh, so many people in there as well. So plenty of teams and lots of fun. And it looks like they're going actually pretty seriously for the 77Y artillery.
Yeah, but it's only one unit, and I'm surprised because the 5th Brigade, other than they're an experienced regiment, they've basically run off on their own, and they should know full well we like isolating and destroying individual regiments, as you're seeing the skirmishes coming up on them now.
Yeah, I can see skirmishers moving up from one side, and you've also got another line who are now moving up, getting into a supporting position for the artillery. So there's a line to defend the artillery, and 95th dropkick taking out Peanut with a nice cannonball shot. Now the trouble is that now you've got the skirmishers. They're in a little bit of a knotty situation. They've now got guys with those nasty bayonets after them, and they're not really designed for fighting back skirmish-wise. So they're going to have to play a canny game. Wouldn't you agree?
Here come the line. Their canny game is lead them into people with bayonets. Pretty
much. That's the route as far as we can see. So here comes the line with the pointy bayonets and going in for a bit of stabby goodness onto those nasty Prussians in their blue uniforms. And you can see now, in comes Gaz. Too late for the party as per usual. And you can see there he's in here with his sword swinging and impressing the mighty. So you can see now essentially that's the 5th Brigade, that section now taken down. The skirmishers will be reforming. And let's... off we go again.
Oh, Cadet Kautzer and October's taking him out. Cool.
Yeah.
Let's see. Where is he? Well, nice to see some long-standing members getting their names abused.
Indeed, yes, indeed. Now, I'm looking at the Jaegers, part of the 95th Rifles. So these guys are working one of the hills. Now, I don't see a line nearby. Now, that's one thing that I have noticed the 77Y do quite often, is that when you see skirmishers, they're usually accompanied by a line. Is that because of their inability to fight back with respect to the melee?
Well, against line infantry, it's not so bad. What Scruff has them do is he has a melee detachment within the skirmishers that he'll throw forwards at people, and they just have to hold them up while the rest reload. But normally you see a line parked with the skirmishers because of cavalry, but there is no cavalry in today's event, so it's not quite so important to guard them as much.
Okay, well you can see now the cannonball fire coming in, taking down members of the 47th. That's dropkick there with the cannonball fire. And now you can see the 47th taking a little bit of damage, and you've now got two lines of the 77Y over the top of the hill here. Now, obviously, you've got a small section on the left-hand side. Let's see who that's commanded by. That's commanded by Bradders. You've also got another line moving up the centre, and you've also got the skirmishers moving up as well. So these guys pushing pretty hard against the Prussians, and you've got a very nice fusillade. Oh, look at this. It's fusillade line of the FK RKT. Beautiful stuff indeed. Unfortunately, they've lost 3 of their members in the resulting fire. And unfortunately, I don't think they killed that many of the 77Y. So it looks like the Prussian artillery is about to be overrun by the 77Y.
The same is currently occurring at the other artillery, though. If you jump over there, the riflemen have gone over to say hi to the Russian artillery. If I can get to them. There we go.
Yes, I can see that. And now a line is returning fire as Charlie the Turtle taking out poor old Cadet Echo. And now you can see the Russians there making their way back. So you've got the FK also in there as well. And I think we've got another line up on the far side who are in the process of trying to push and do... Oh, they're about to have a confrontation on the hill. This is going to get messy as we're now looking at the 47th having a little bit of a run-in with the 77Y. There goes Derposaurus and Slayer Boy and Grenadier October. Now they're returning to return fire, taking down Morphus Max and Colonel Spy from the 47th. And now they're going in for a little bit of melee attack on the side of a hill. Now, obviously, that's going to be a little bit of a problem for some people, as your movement is really restricted when it comes to going uphill and downhill, Mal.
Yeah, you normally want to be trying to run round the hill. The other thing to note there was the way they kept moving until the enemy had fired and then tried to form up to fire back, because the hitbox detection is a bit screwy when it comes to hitting moving targets, unfortunately, in this game. You're far more likely to hit a stationary target, although I guess that's true for real life as well.
Indeed. Now you can see one member left standing, and Gaz is doing his best to chop him into fishbait. And finally, there we go. You can see now it looks like the FK have actually engaged one of the cadet lines, and they have now engaged back. And let's see if we can lock in on what they're doing. It looks like one of the cadet lines is suffering from a bit of damage. As you can see, Terminal Ducky gets killed. There's Conway out and about doing his thing. And now you can see what is Colonel Aztir and Private Spider and Skeleton K9 Eupitopia and Panos the Pyro charging towards the FK now. As you can see, now obviously this can't be an official round because Aztir's still alive, which is obviously something of a turn up as far as 77Y are concerned.
Oh, where's he hiding? He must be hiding somewhere.
He is. I'm currently watching him at the moment. He's in a small line with about 6 or 7 other people, just moving in to attack the FK along with Gaz.
Oh, that's nice. There's a cadet at the top of the scoreboard. I think I'll be writing his name down.
Always good stuff. Always good stuff. So you can see the skirmishers looking pretty good. You can see now, obviously.
And Gaz will be up for demotion.
So Gamer is currently leading the skirmishers away. Now he's got a few people who are, I think, lights, or they back off a line maybe. I think he's caught a couple of people on the back end of his line. There's a couple of cadets sitting on the back of the skirmisher line. So, but they're all staying together, and these guys are now moving up. And I don't really have any idea as to where they're going at the moment. We'll have to keep an eye on them to see what they decide to do.
I would imagine it's the riflemen left attacking the artillery position. Yep, it looks like it. So I'm not sure where the artillery are. Have they hunkered down yet? Or are they... No, they're just hiding behind their big rock.
They're hiding behind the big rock. Yeah, they're busy getting their rocks off.
You got the Officer Meerkats at the top.
Officer Meerkats, of course, yes. So there's Murray. What I'm waiting for is one of them to fall off there and suicide, which would be deeply funny. And of course, they've got the defences of Fort Derp at the bottom there, which is the normal name for the artillery defensive fort. And you can see the engineer doing a good job. It's Dirty Morph again. Engineer Superior, I should say, builds quite the substantial
crispy bacon with extra shrapnel.
Oh, God, yes. Yes, crispy bacon with extra shrapnel. And a side order of chips. So poor old Crispy is no more. He has been well and truly sliced and diced. And these Jaegers are trying to do some kind of damage to this artillery, but they're not really having a lot of success. Now, the trouble is, it means that these guys are now being held up until the eventual line or the other skirmishers can actually arrive.
They needed to be a lot more aggressive. They shouldn't be sitting back like this. I mean, the ability to skirmish is their biggest strength, so they should be able to dodge the cannons quite happily. So I don't know why they're sitting back quite so much.
Right, so we're watching now at the moment. So there's the 95th Rifles, and there we go. A nice shot from Ace of Dave's, and Tweet being taken out there. And unfortunately, any second now, here come the 77Y skirmishers over the top of the hill, and this is where it's going to be skirmisher on skirmisher action. And it's going to get a little bit messy, as there we go, down goes Captain Huey. Canny Miller catches a bullet, and here comes the fire coming in from Smoke Trail and Gamer. And now you can see this is pretty much going to be it all over as far as the Prussians are concerned. These are the only guys left standing at the moment. And yeah, a bit of an unfortunate situation that they decided to stay where they were, Mal.
Yeah, I always find it brutal with the clubbing people to death with the back of the rifle. I don't know why. It always just seems far more brutal than the bayonet for some reason. I think it's the sound effect. They've done a good sound effect for that.
It kind of baseball bat into melon effect.
Yes.
Yes, I notice also it is now officially a proper round because Gamer died in the last seconds of the round, so as per the norm. So we shall now move on to the second round, boys and girls. We'll be right back. And we return with the second round, obviously on the same map. So we're going to have another 2 rounds, I think, on this map, and then map change to 2 more remaining rounds on the other map. Now, I know what you're thinking. What are the odds? It's either going to be snow or desert, because it always is with this lot. So,
well, the only other option is forest, pretty much, or snowy forest, which never go down well. You normally end up with one line getting lost, and you spend the next 20 minutes trying to find them.
It could be worse. It could be very hilly and foggy.
You mean like your last attempt at choosing a map? Maybe I should inflict that on them again.
Oh God, no, 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 no. It was. The thing is, from that point of view, it was actually quite interesting to watch because I was curious to see who would be able to adapt the best to overcome that, and because obviously the cavalry essentially was limited to where they can go. The guys, when they were meleeing, had to be careful because they were on the side of a hill, so there was a lot of movement disadvantage. So it was like fighting slightly different to what they're used to, and they actually did quite well. I was quite surprised.
Yeah, and the artillery was blind firing off into the fog, sort of.
Pretty
Yeah.
much. Pretty much.
I was
But,
surprised there wasn't more team kills.
yeah, it was good. Now, as you can see, Fort Derp is already being built by Dirty Morph, so he's putting the defences into place. Now,
The Prussians are being very aggressive on the right side in some part, and then the rest are sitting AFK at spawn, whilst their artillery is unprotected on the left, which again is only one gun. Why are they only bringing one cannon? This is weird. They're putting themselves at a disadvantage.
yeah, now I can see obviously that the anti infantry fort being set up there just down by the side, and you can see.
You see, that fort's normally for cavalry, because cavalry comes out of just out of nowhere very quickly, but it's very difficult for it to fight around defences. So they're normally those forts are for cavalry, so they're not so important against infantry, who can just run in and destroy them and climb over it all.
Exactly, yes. So the Prussian artillery, as you can see, Cannoneer Peanut. Oh, Peanut taking out Dirty Morph. Oh dear, the engineer is down.
Yeah, I guess there's no fort for them this time then.
Fort Derp is now unfinished, unfortunately, so you can see Bombardier Stabby, who appears to be the commanding officer, and you can see that, pretty much the 77Y artillery has pretty much got the range of the artillery, so their opposing numbers artillery, so that's looking pretty good. And you can now see the 77Y actually engaging. So Thomas has decided not to do the Meerkat, and we are looking at a line of 77Y now, and it looks like this could be a potential ambush.
It's whether
on
Gaz
the
has
FK.
noticed that side line off closer to the map edge or not.
It's difficult to say.
They're not in a position to really influence the battle, but
Yes, I see that little. In fact, by the looks of it, it looks to be Jaegers and an additional line as well.
the one that's
So,
got the gigantic flag waving above its officer to prevent all attempts at sneakiness.
Indeed, yes.
And
yes,
it's the colonel. It's the colonel doing it as well, just to make it worse.
So now you can see the skirmishers actually now firing back against the enemy Jaegers. So there's trouble taking out Dolph as well. So this line has got to be careful.
Someone
As
shot
you can
Gaz's
see.
pony.
Oh God, that's criminal. That's criminal. So, but to be honest, the way he drives it, I'm not surprised really. I'm surprised he didn't total it into a tree.
I'm guessing it was a friendly skirmisher by the way this execution looks like it's going down.
Really?
Oh no, he's decided to let him live.
I see. So poor old Gaz has lost his horse. So he now, by the way, looking to stay with the skirmishers and do their thing, so to speak. Now you can see these Jaegers still firing at the enemy, now being supported by the FK. And over on the right side, you've got the 47th Lancashires or Lancastrians, I suppose you could say.
See, this is where good scouting would come into play. If the Prussians had seen it, they would know there's only one line in the skirmishers there, and they've got the superiority of numbers and could rush them and take out the skirmishers, but they seem to be quite content to sit behind their hills.
Well, you can now see Colonel Spy moving in, and you can now see the fire coming onto the 5th Brigade as well. So, oh my goodness, there seems to be a massive fire going on to the 5th Brigade and 95th Rifles. Excuse me. So, let's just see what's going on. As you can see, I'm looking at Cadet Oko at the moment in there, having a little bit of a bayonet dozy-do.
As tis down. As tis down.
Big surprise there.
It's a real round.
It's a real round. It's now an official round, even though apparently they fired out of formation. So let's just wait and see what's going on. As you can now see, JHS and the remaining members. So apparently, there's complaint from the 5th Brigade that they didn't fire, or they fired in not in formation or something along those lines. So
Okay, so that's the cadet line, but I'm not sure who's leading that because the officer's not alive. Oh
So
no, he's on the top of the hill. Let's see who that is. Bradders.
So now you can see, oh dear, as now you can see Bradders being taken down by the 47th, and you can see more fire coming in. So you can see the Colonel Spy and the 47th moving up onto the hill. They're going to then start engaging them in melee. So this line is coming under huge amounts of fire, and any minute now you can see it all getting very messy, and it looks like the 77Y actually getting the advantage against the 47th at the moment. So you can see the 47th there's Zippy 94.
Cadet Harrington's grabbed his officer's sword and just went on a killing spree with it.
Oh, fantastic stuff. Let's see, where's Cadet Harrington? Oh, there he is.
Oh no.
Oh, Cadet Harrington gets finished off, ironically, by an officer's sword. And you can see now Polk 118, oh, sliced it across the face with the sword. So looking very unfortunate for those guys. Oh, and there goes Ludd taking out. And you can see the skirmishers still continuing with their fire. You've got Light Conway moving in, working together with the skirmishers, as Tommy Lee manages to catch a bullet. And let's see how the numbers are doing. So 15 versus 26. So the Russians definitely have the advantage at the moment when it comes to numbers, Mal.
Yep, but they're up against skirmishers, which is always painful for lines to run at. So they're going to rely on gamers, skirmishers, but there don't seem to be too many of them left. And the Russian forces are very spread across the map. They probably should have grouped up before going in here. But we'll see how it goes.
Yeah, so we're watching the line now moving towards the skirmishers. And you can see, obviously, the 95th Rifles now coming under fire and attack from the lights of the 77Y. So there's Abercrombie in there as well, with Fraller 8. And let's see who this else is. There's Ricky. Ricky's in there as well, chasing after the 95th Rifles, who, needless to say, when under the attack of those multiple bayonets, are deciding to run to the hills, as indeed they should. It doesn't help that they're running to a couple of AFKers.
That's just extra kills.
Yeah, pretty much 3 kills. And there's one.
They're trying to use him as a distraction.
Yeah, that's pretty much it. But hopefully to slow him down so he can get away. But yeah, I mean, there's not much point in chasing somebody because they everyone runs at the same speed, don't they, Mal?
Close enough. It used to be before the most recent patch that you actually ran faster in shooting mode than melee. So if the other person wasn't aware of it, you could eventually catch them.
Oh, right.
But if you didn't switch to melee quick enough whilst from shooting mode, you got stabbed very painfully.
These things happen. So now, last attempt by the cannon fire from the 95th Artillery. So there's Spiky and Bombardier Stabby going in with the saber. Oh, it might be the Bombardier against Gaz. Gaz doing good so far. A couple of nice blocks. Bit of a slice around the back there, and he takes out Bombardier Stabby.
That's his sword practice from officer school.
Good stuff, good stuff. So you can see, a little bit of fire, and the final man, Peanut, gets
still a cadet
down.
up top. Look, 11 for 0. I think we know who's not going to be a cadet next week.
Well, saying that, also, Slayer's doing pretty good too, I have to say.
Ah, yeah, but Slayer's been in the regiment for as long as I can remember.
Right, let's move on to the next round. Okay, so we are on to the final round on this map, and then we shall move on to the next map. Now, 5th Brigade, 18th RH, Colonel Loza leading his team with 6 and 2, and Ace of Days leading with 4 of 2, and obviously Countess of Maligno in there from the FK Fusiliers, so we shall see. Now, we are looking at Gaz, Commanding Officer and Scout. Now, he's already located the artillery. This is almost spawn camping that Gaz is doing. He's literally poking his head over the top of the hill and spotting these guys, and eventually he's going to come a cropper. Somebody's going to stop and take a pot shot at him.
He is Scottish though, so you've got to translate the information before it becomes useful.
But can you translate it is the question. I mean, we all obviously know his cries of freedom and all the rest of it usually end up becoming a cropper. But, you know, I mean, is Scottish commanders, what kind of reputation do they have on the battlefield?
Russian armies? I should suspect not very good ones.
No, I wouldn't think so, no. They're not really...
Then again, wasn't Barclay de Tolly Scottish in origin?
It's a possibility, I couldn't say for certain. But we just have to wait and see if he's got the same ability to catch cannonballs with his face that you have, Mal.
But they're tasty.
Cannonballs make you fat.
Caramel-filled cannonballs are clearly the best.
So you can see the fire coming in from the skirmishers now. They're engaging some of the lines who are taking pot shots at them. And there's Oberst Jasper, from the FK working together with Colonel Spy, I believe, from the 47th. Nope. The 47 Lancastrians, there's Lieutenant Ludd spying for his team. Now,
I must admit, this is one of the strangest artillery deployments I've ever seen in an event. They both sort of pull themselves off to the side and then basically fire at each other for the entire time and ignore the rest of the fight until it shows up on their doorstep. Yeah,
they are kind of caught in their own little sort of artillery world, you know. It's why I refer to the artillery section of 77Y as the special needs bus of 77Y, because they're all off in their little world quite often.
Oh, we call the guards the Tea Drinkers Anonymous because they spend 90% of events doing nothing and then the rest dying horribly to cavalry usually.
Yeah, I can quite believe that. It's just like, no, it's time for tea. You need to stop. You can't attack. We haven't had tiffin yet and all that funky stuff. That
the official AFK's regiment of choice.
Yeah, indeed, yes. Oh, we need some kind of official Napoleonic War brand of tea, as it looks like the 47th. Oh dear, what is going on with the 47th? Look like they've decided to charge possibly a line of skirmishers and 2 full lines, and that went very, very nasty.
I'm not convinced they knew the lines were there.
Yeah, I don't think so. As you can see now, they're making their way over the top of the hill, and the 77Y looks like they've actually got 3 lines in total, or 3 sections, I should say. And now it's going to turn out to be very, very messy.
It's your favourite Stabby Fest on top of the hill.
It is a Stab Fest, yes, Stab Fest 2013. As you can see, it's time for a bayonet dozy-do as Gaz gets killed. There we go, back to normality. And you can see Light Conway unfortunately being taken down, and quite a few people here being taken out. The 47th doing their best to try and take as many as possible out. And there we go, a nice team kill in for poor old Milky Biscuit. So now you're seeing, oh, there goes Zippy 94. And you can see, oh dear. And there we go, Gerald M. team kills Aztir. Oh dear, fantastic. And then Gerald M. gets team killed. So there we go. Funny stuff indeed. And now you can see Panos the Pyro. And oh, look at that, a punch from Father Jack kills Hoddesy. So a nice run at the end there.
Was it actually a punch or was it a kick? I know what the little icon showed.
I don't know. I'm assuming it's a punch, based on what I saw. So
because I believe a kick brings up the same icon. So
okay. Well,
either way, it was embarrassing.
Either way, yes. Murray is the artillery meerkat at the moment, so he's currently up there. I'm guessing it was a kick based on what they just said. So now the artillery will continue their battling against each other. And apparently they're asking, is it a new password or something along those lines? So
there's plenty of other means someone else can tell them.
Yeah.
Ooh, that was a painful camera to swap to. Up close behind his head just as the bayonet came through it.
The commentator's curse, the curse of the observer cam. I've seen it many times. Every time I spectate somebody, they usually end up dying, which is why I try not to spectate you or Aztir too often, because otherwise you have a tendency to snuff it thereafter. So as you can see, let's find out what's going on. As we're looking at the artillery for the 77Y, now you can see here, it's pretty quiet over here, really. You've got the guards in place, the likes of Tweet and Slayer Boy, and down the back here you've got Doozle. and doing a bit of home gardening. You've got Rostafari. And obviously
the Prussian artillery's up to something interesting. They're firing across each other, so when one fires, the other can't see to shoot at anything anymore.
Oh, that's interesting. That's novel. Oh, I think I see what they're aiming for. There's a flag down there. They might be aiming. They might be believing that there's a line down there. So we shall just have to wait and see.
Oh, what's going on? They're chasing one poor rifleman. He's got the whole team. Oh, there we go.
Oh dear.
Just looting his corpse before they carry on the fight.
Indeed, indeed. It has to be done, really, doesn't it? So you can see now...
Got to steal all the flags as well.
Yeah, they are making a collection of flags, as is the norm, really. So you can see now the skirmishers making their way over the battlefield, and I believe towards the enemy artillery.
Yep, it's just the artillery left and a couple of AFKs, I think. And then we're on to a new map.
Indeed we are. Now this is interesting. I noticed that the line is quite spread out. The skirmishers, as usual, very spread out as well. So you can wait and see what happens. Now, over here you've got PFC Hidzi, who appears to be on his own. And looks like he's going for one of the AFKers.
Yep, he shouldn't be out of line though.
Oh, Mal. Oh, Mal. He was going for his kill. Oh, you're so mean.
Rules be rules.
Oh, poor Hidzi.
Hmm?
Poor Hidzi. Never mind. So... you can see now the fire coming in, and here's Recruit Flint doing his best to defend himself against pretty much the entire army. Will he manage to kill a commanding officer? Well, he managed to kill Panos, so that was quite entertaining. And you can see a little bit of fire going on, and Flint then goes down. Now, there's one guy left standing. Now, whether or not he's standing or AFK. Oh, there we go. Do still killing Doomfinger. Ah, here we go. It's a hedgehog. And he is.
And hedgehog's down. So what do we want for the next map there, Jed?
I don't know. Go for a desert one. As we'll move on to the next map. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, we are back. And this is the new map. There is desert. There is kind of trees. And there is, of course, the two-dimensional bird. So the two-dimensional bird smiles upon this battle, and we shall now continue and find out what the teams are going to do. So let's see what's going on. As you can see, the line's getting set up in there, and you can see already the Russian lines making their way out to spawn. So they haven't hung around this time, Mal.
No, they're rushing for that middle hill to try and get to it because they can see the artillery's chugged its way up there. So they're just trying to get in position before that can start pouring fire on them by the look of it.
Now, you can see Gaz up there on that hill. Oh, crikey, oh, blimey, look at that. They're not that far away from them, are they?
No, this is going to be very brutal and very quick, I think.
Yes, I think that's fair to say. So, skirmishers moving out. Artillery getting set up. There's another line who are quite some distance away from where the artillery are. So they need to get up there, hoof it up as quickly as possible.
Oh, they haven't seen this line of skirmishers to the left. That could be brutal.
Yeah, that's not going to be good.
And
we'll just have to wait and see. Oh, there we go. Oh, what? Oh.
There's another ban.
There we go. So let's just see. In before Aztir. So now you can see fire coming in. So you've got the skirmishers on the left-hand side. It turns out they banned the real one. Whoops. Okay.
Sort it out in the logs later. He'll be fine.
Yeah. Never mind. So now you can see Cadet Blaze from the 95th Rifles now coming under fire. In comes the line from the 77Y. Mass fire onto the skirmishers. Another line moving up on the far left-hand flank under the command of Corporal Abercrombie. They're now going to force those skirmishers to start cheesing it in the opposite direction as the 77Y skirmishers pushing the middle here against the 47th. And you see the 47th taking a lot of damage. Oh, and cannonball fire into the FK from trouble.
Lovely
Quad
shot.
kill there. So now you can see this is a very, very nasty situation for the Prussians. The Prussians deciding to charge into battle, and they may come a cropper because there may not be enough of them to withstand the melee skills of the 77Y as Cadet Gary Knight and Terminal Ducky get taken down. And you can see PFC Benedict and Mad Andy all making the move in. So now you can see the melee begins, and there's only 37 people left on the Prussian side. So you're going to have to get in there and get up close and personal very quickly as more cannonball fire comes in, taking down poor old Crispy Bacon. Yet again, he got that cannonball right between the legs. That's very nasty indeed. And you can see Smoke Trail, Bradders and Johnny KM. This has turned out to be, like you said, very, very brutal very quickly, Mal.
Yeah, it's all set up and then realise, oh, the enemy's that little bit closer than we thought. And then pretty much the only option you've got is charge, or the skirmishers will just pull you to pieces.
Which is pretty much what's happened. I mean, they've had the lines over on the left-hand side, taking out a large majority of their skirmishers, with your skirmishers working in the middle to take out a larger majority of the line in the centre. So it's a combination of fire, and you can now see that they're having the dozy-do as Ultimate Me gets taken out. And finally, there's Corporal Recruit from the 9th Brigade, and now you can see the Russians moving up, as it looks like the FK have still survived, and they're standing and holding everybody back as best they can as Slayer manages to catch a cannonball from Auriculus. Oh dear, fun and games, fun and games. So yeah, you can see now 24 people versus 29, so it's still pretty even at the moment, Mal.
Yeah, the skirmishers pulled apart the guys just as they sort of finished their melee. They couldn't get back into cover quick enough. So hopefully the Russian skirmishers will focus this line coming around the corner, because they're the easy target, so to speak.
Yeah.
A lot of skirmisher regiments I see try to focus other skirmishers, and I don't really subscribe to that. You can run down skirmishers at the end of the game as far as I'm concerned. Focus on the nice big juicy line targets first. Lots more guaranteed kills.
Yeah, because obviously you can make the best of that accuracy that the rifle gives you for engaging at range. And down goes Aztir. Fantastic stuff. So,
official round then.
Indeed, yes. I can't believe it. I don't know what's going on with your regiment, mate, because Aztir died and nobody teabagged him.
Oh, they're just saving it for later. They're going to wipe out the enemy and then have a group hug around it.
Oh, God. So now let's see how things are going. 16 versus 24. So it's by no means over. As you can see, Abercrombie being taken down by Ace of Daves, Marksman Ace of Daves. Now you can see Marksman Ranger. Oh, very nice shot into Captain Razar. And you've got Marksman Umbra moving up as well. He's going to try and engage them as well. And you can see he's waiting for an opportunity as the cannonballs come flying in between the Russians. They're now going to start engaging the Prussians as best they can. There goes Paul Dylan, taken down by J-Wall. And Spider 12 from 77Y is taken out as well. Oh, Peanuts with a nice cannonball kill onto poor old Tommy Lee. Didn't dodge that quick enough. Oh. And let's see, the 95th Rifles are getting brutalised at the moment.
Yeah, Ocko just came flying out of a bush to stab some rifleman in the side of the head he didn't see while he was lining up his shot. Is that another cadet doing well? His name can go on the list.
So yeah, it's all looking good. It's all looking good. So you can now see what remains of the Prussians defending themselves. Umbra gets taken down by Cadet Blaze.
Ah, here comes Morph leading the guards as a reinforcement line. Oh, but Ricky's on a spree.
Oh, Ricky.
Who let Ricky out of his cage?
Oh, dear.
That's there 4 in the time it took everyone else to get 2.
Yeah. And he finishes off with a 5th. So there you go. That has been the penultimate round, and we move on to the final round. We'll be right back. And so this is the final round. Now, as you can see, the Russian spawn. I wonder if they're going to go for the same situation they went for last time.
I suspect they'll be a bit more guarded about rushing forwards quite so hard. The Russians should, if they play like how I'd expect them to, still run towards that hill, but they may go to one of the sides as opposed to straight over the top. But we'll see what Gaz tells them to do.
Yeah, this should be interesting. You can see now that the artillery's taken a hill at the rear there, just behind where they spawned. So you can see Gaz moving up towards that hill. You can see the artillery from the enemy pretty much in the center of the screen now. You can see them silhouetted against the background, and they are getting set up. So yeah, they're pretty much gone in hardcore for the same point.
You can see the skirmishers are holding back an extra hill. A couple of the lines are going wide. The Prussians aren't pushing up as aggressively as they did last turn.
Indeed not, no. You can see Recruit Flint just went in with his axe to try and axe somebody, but it didn't work out. There's Abercrombie in with his pistol, and we all know how accurate they are. As Charlie the Turtle claims the first casualty, that's poor old Lieutenant Ludd there.
Hits the lieutenant across the map. He's not going to be too happy.
No, he's not going to be impressed again, poor old Ludd. So you can see that's pretty much the second time in 2 rounds he's been taken out by the artillery. Really needs to learn how to dodge, but you know, it's one of those things that you never know it's coming until it hits you in the face, really, because of the speed of the netcode and everything else.
Oh, that was a bad place to drop that gun. I think he's decided he agrees with that concept and he's running for it. There's a line in skirmishers just pour past it.
Oh dear. So now you can see
they didn't protect their cannons at all. They just abandoned them and are flanking around the side.
Yeah. Now the question I wonder as to whether or not they can actually... Yeah, see, they're working through the bushes. Now, the bushes obviously not going to give them a lot of cover, but it might give them a little bit of surprise factor, maybe, Mal?
Yeah, this is the age-old argument of cover versus concealment, and this is definitely concealment. Cannonballs will go through that quite happily.
Indeed they will, yeah. Bushes are not known for their ability to withstand cannonballs, generally.
So, they're trying to hit... It goes both ways as well, though, with the bushes. You're mostly firing at smoke clouds when you can't really see what's going on.
Yeah.
Oh, someone wants me to 1v1 them, bro, from Spectator. I'm not quite sure he's played this game very long.
No, I'm not aware of the kind of battles you can have in Spectator.
Well, my only weapon is kick, ban, or slay, so... Oh, there we go.
Charlie! Ouch!
And there Gaz did the right thing. He pulled his forces round, causing them to wheel and be side onto a cannon. He's had plenty of personal experience with that strategy, so he's almost an expert in it now.
Really?
Oh, yes. Wow. The cadet line got obliterated a few weeks back due to him doing it.
Oh, dear. So that's pretty much most of the 47th being cut to pieces. So that's really going to break the back of any kind of challenge they're making. Yeah, they're now down 24 players in comparison to the 77Y. So now the 77Y definitely have the advantage. As you can see a line moving over to the right-hand side. You can also see more skirmishing going over here on the right-hand side, amongst all the bushes. The likes of Abercrombie in there as well. And now they're charging. There's Ricky. He's in there at the moment. So let's follow Ricky as he's charging in. No, he's decided to pull back.
Probably too many cadets in the area.
Indeed, yes. So it looks like there's a little bit of... there we go. Ricky's in the process of doing a little bit of melee going on. And you can see Abercrombie being team killed. Oh dear, fantastic. So let's just see.
Oh,
there we go.
Brutal and Sparky.
Oh yeah, I saw that. He was AFK or thinking he was safe. But we now follow Ricky as he's making his way. He's making his way past somebody. He hasn't noticed him in the bush. Oh, look at that.
That's where bushes work both ways.
Indeed they do. So now Ricky, we're following him as he's doing a little bit of... And the hitman takes out a great sword. Do you see that? Combination of a kick and a flipping stab as well. That was nasty, nasty goings on there from Ricky.
He spends far too much time in melee practice. I mean,
very,
look at that score. He's more effective than both cannons put together.
Oh, good God.
If he can get the melee, he's worth more than a cannon. But you've got to get him there. You need like a little Ricky protection squad.
So, there we have it, boys and girls. That has been the second round over, and that is it for the day. Boys and girls, thank you very much for watching. I hope you've enjoyed yourself. I hope you've enjoyed this dual commentary as they team kill Gaz right from the start of Spawn. Perfect. Why can't we have more rounds like that? And thank you, Mal, for joining me this evening.
No problem. Thanks for having me.
We shall see you next time for more line battles on Napoleonic Wars. Take care.
And with this insane amount of team killing, we bring the event to a close. Apparently the Russian custom for victory is a sacrificial death pile. I'll let you make of that what you will. I'm sure the comments will pick on other time periods for their source of commentary. You know what I mean. Anyway, hopefully you guys enjoyed that. Thanks for watching. See you next time.